Good afternoon, everybody. This is the third time I am trying to shoot this video. So let's give it a try. Okay, so I did not get to work on that dress. I spent, since you've last seen me, if you didn't know, I bought 300 plus patterns from Goodwill and I did a unboxing. Since then, I have been knee deep in patterns. I have not been able to sew. I know I keep promising sewing videos, but this is another haul video. So let's get right to it. I purchased two things. One, the first one we're going to talk about, I purchased from Facebook Marketplace, and it was, I think, $8 for this with the shipping, and I'm so happy. And it is one of your beautiful, classic, late 40s, very early 50s cookbooks, and it's from the Guardian company, and apparently Guardian, let me show you a picture of them, made cookware. And it's a little cooklet. I love these things, and the reason I actually bought it was the back page. This is a Westinghouse metal kitchen, and this is my dream kitchen. I love these. After the war, there was metal around, there were manufacturers who were working with metal. They started to make metal kitchens. They fell out of favor in like the 70s, 60s, 70s, but if you can find one, it's probably still great. I mean, they were built to last. Look at this. I love the happy family picture. They were really built to last. So I bought that, and I'm very happy with it. I'll be looking at it after we get done here. I want to really peruse it. My goal eventually, and I laugh when I say this because I'm so bad at recording content, is to do a Patreon page where I teach people to cook. Because I notice people buy a lot of things that are not that hard to make from scratch, and the scratch version is 100 times better. Specifically things like pudding. Like chocolate pudding made from scratch is divine. It beats any pre-box, pre-made you can buy. I'm telling you, it's delicious. Okay, so the next thing that I did, so that would be like a recipe I'd like to teach people how to cook. So I'm trying to figure out how to use Patreon and how to make better videos and teach people to cook. So stay tuned. Anyway, so the second haul I did was from Katherine Young, who is a YouTuber here on YouTube. I will do a link to her channel below. Okay, and what I bought from her, she had done, by the way, she had done a $10 challenge with someone else, and she bought a whole lot of tins from some auction site, not eBay, but something like that, and she bid on them and she won them. And I bought from her this tin, and it says Jewel 1981. Okay, Jewel Tea Company was originally started in the Chicago area. It was actually a company that fresh roasted coffee, but they decided to branch out into tea, so they called it Jewel Tea. This pattern, let me take the lid off, for this tin, this pattern was made by the Hall Company, which made china and pottery, but it was made specifically for Jewel. And you could actually buy the china that matches this from Jewel. Jewel was around and still had a catalog until the 80s, but apparently they went out of business in the 90s. So I bought this tin because I have a stack of these, which I bought with some cooking ephemera. That included some of those cooklets because it had amazing recipes like this. It also has amazing things like this, Sue Barnett patterns, which is why I have a Sue Barnett pattern right here. I don't know if you can see that. Obviously, they're not still around, but I think all these companies, even though they were selling through Jewel, which was a door-to-door company, and then they also had a catalog, I think they were really subsidiaries of Jewel, so they weren't really individual companies, but which is sad. But anyway, so Katherine sent me this absolutely beautiful tin. It's in very good shape. It's very nice. Well, it's only from 1981. It's not super vintage, and she put stuff in it. So she put a little thank you note, and this is her. I'll put her web link down below if you guys are interested. She sells all kinds of cool stuff. Thank you so much for all your support. I'm so glad this tin found the perfect home with you. P.S. Your package is all recycled packaging. Thank you, Katherine, and love Katherine, which is true because she sent me, here's the box she sent it in, and there was like this, and then there was bubble. I mean, it was like, wow, this thing isn't even really fragile. So she put little stuff in it, and she put a doll from the USSR. And then these are my favorites, right? I always love it when I don't know who this kid is, but this is probably his picture from high school, right? And then a vintage baby photo, but it's a postcard, which is, by the way, if you didn't know, you could go get your photo taken at a photo shop and they would print it onto a postcard. I have one of my grandmother Leah, and it was supposed to be mailed back to her intended, whom she skipped out on and married my grandfather instead, but that's a whole other story. Really interesting story. I should sit down and have story hour sometime about them because they were very interesting. She was French from Longwy, and he was Sicilian American Italian. Like, he was from Sicily but was in America before her family got here, and it was a scandal, let me tell you. Her family didn't talk to her for like 2 years or something. But here's my favorite part. She sent me this. Now, for those of you that don't know, I lived in Philadelphia for 11 years. Ben Franklin is one of my absolute favorite, and by the way, it's a postcard. Ben Franklin is one of my favorite historical characters. He's Ben. He's fascinating. He's way ahead of his time. Some of our best laws in the U.S. are because of Ben Franklin. Some of our biggest freedoms are because of Ben Franklin. And he wasn't always altruistic. Like, the reason we have a postal system really was so that he could distribute this little pamphlet thing that he was making that was anti-establishment. It was anti-monarchy. So, but that's why we have a postal system. In fact, it's why we have the rural route in the U.S. so that he could get this pamphlet to rural areas. So I'm very happy with this. So I have this by Jewel T. I have that by Sue Barnett Patterns. I have this whole stack of Jewel News, which has recipes and pictures of sewing patterns. I really do promise, now that I have some time, I will sit down and take you through these catalogs for the sake of interest, just looking to see what like the fashions were and stuff, because these are all from 47 and 48. I have like 2 years of them. And I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm going to see what's in it. And if you are interested in learning to cook, I would be doing vintage style recipes, stuff from scratch, stuff that's really not hard to make, that's delicious, that the modern counterparts just aren't as good as, like pudding. Like, seriously, pudding is like a 20-minute recipe, tastes so much better. And until my next video, which I would love to tell you is a sewing video, but I also ordered stuff from Vermont Country Store. And so when that comes, it's probably going to be another haul video. I'm so sorry I keep doing this to you. I'm such a big liar, such a big fat liar. But until the next video, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Happy Pride for those who celebrate. It is really hot here in New Jersey, but we're getting thunderstorms rolling in today. So I'm going to actually go back to sorting millions of patterns that I bought from Goodwill. So until the next video, please like, subscribe, and please comment, especially if you know anything about Jewel T. I would love to know more about this company. I only know some really basic stuff from like Wikipedia. And until the next time, like, subscribe, ring the bell, please comment, and I hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for stopping by. Bye.